Caleb had negotiated that one or two, I think it was 2 containers of Ekopolimer panels, the thin and the thick panels were to be shipped somewhere, and I had space in the parking lot at my shop, and the panels ended up here, and that enabled us to have a stock from which to draw for prototyping, and that was a huge step forward. We got to learn about the material instead of just imagine what the material was like. And once we started working with it, we realized some of its amazing capabilities. I don't know, it was just fascinating to learn about, and really exceeded expectations in that the world has this, I guess, bias about recycled materials, that they're somehow inferior to new materials. And what we found was really in contradiction to that.
We used it for several different things. We used it as literally a walkway over muddy areas on our property in order to keep guests from having to walk in the mud. We also used it to help with some traction issues that we were having with some of our equipment. So, I mean, we've used it on numerous occasions for considerably different applications.
I was surprised by the strength of the material right out of the container, basically, our first exposure to it. We ended up putting it on the ground, driving over it with whatever we had available, forklift from down the street, cars that we had around. It was a very usable material, and a material where we're only scratching the surface on the number of applications it can address.
I think there's so many opportunities with Ekopolimer that I go driving down the road and say, oh, that might work for something, or oh, that could be pretty cool for something. There's just so many applications for this simple process that they've discovered. Handicap ramps on sidewalks, boat ramps in the lakes that they could be removed in the off season and not affect the environment. Emergency boat ramps for responders trying to put a boat into a river where there's not a ramp. For my facility, I use it to keep my pavement from being beat up by my backhoe when we're processing. Rail trails, it goes on and on and on with the possibilities.
Everywhere I looked, I was seeing places for Ekopolimer to end up in a product. And once you see all the effort in producing new products from new materials, and you think about how much invested energy there is in that process, and then you take a recycled material and plug it into the same product with maybe even benefits to the performance, that's a game changer.